Hello and welcome. If you're looking to really push your career forward in this global world we live in, you already know that professional English, well, it's more than just a skill, isn't it? It's your secret weapon. But how do you actually get good at it? I'm not just talking about grammar rules, but the feel of it, the strategy, the confidence to really own it. That's exactly what we're going to break down today. We're going to build a full on strategic playbook filled with clear, actionable plays from some really smart sources, all designed to help you master the kind of professional English that opens doors. Okay, let's get right into it. I love this quote. It hits the nail on the head, right? Think about a real handshake for a second. It's your very first impression. In just a couple of seconds, it can communicate confidence, respect that you're a professional. Now, in our world, so much happens online. Your emails, your resume, your LinkedIn profile, they get there way before you do. They are that first impression. They are your digital handshake. And just like a real one, it can be firm and confident and make someone want to know more. Or it can be kind of weak and awkward and create the wrong impression from the get-go. The power of that first digital touch point it's absolutely huge. And right here, this is the big challenge we're here to solve. For ambitious professionals who are learning English, every single interaction can feel like you're walking through a minefield. One source I read called it exactly that. A tiny mistake in your tone, a phrase that sounds just a little bit unnatural, or a request that isn't perfectly clear, it might not just cause a little mix-up, it can be seen as a lack of professionalism or even competence, and that is so stressful. It can hold you back from jobs and promotions that you are totally 100% qualified for. So this playbook, this is our map to get you through that minefield safely and with total confidence. So let's dive into our very first play. The absolute foundation of everything else we're going to talk about is vocabulary. But wait, we are not talking about sitting down with a dictionary and trying to memorize giant lists of words. Honestly, that's not a great use of your time and it just doesn't work that well. The real secret to building a powerful, professional vocabulary, it's all about strategy. It's about learning smarter, not just cramming harder. It's about really understanding how words connect and building a kind of mental map in your head to find and use them when you need them. This brings us to a really powerful idea from an academic journal about learning. The term is cognitive strategies. Now, I know that sounds super academic and complicated, but the idea behind it is actually incredibly simple and, well, it's a game changer. All it really means is that you stop being a passive sponge for information and you become an active, strategic learner. You start using specific mental tricks, like organizing things, finding connections, and breaking things down, to make what you learn actually stick. It's the difference between just letting words wash over you and actively building a strong, organized network of knowledge right inside your brain. Okay, so what does that actually look like? This slide makes that big abstract idea totally clear and practical. This example of word formation, this is a perfect cognitive strategy in action. Instead of trying to memorize four totally separate words, you learn the system. You start with just one root word, defend. And from there, you can literally see the logic. You see how it changes into a person, a defender, or the concept of defense. Then you see how it becomes a description, like defensive, and an action, defensively. You're not just collecting words anymore, you're understanding the blueprint of the language itself. And that lets you basically multiply your vocabulary without having to memorize every single piece. It's so efficient. And here we go. This is your entire toolkit of these cognitive strategies, all laid out. Think of this as your personal checklist for smart vocabulary building. First, group words by category. So if you're an engineer, you'd group words related to materials or specifications. If you're a doctor, words for diagnosis. It makes perfect sense. Second, really get into those word families, just like we did with defend. It's a superpower. Third, learn collocations. Oh, this one is so important. This is all about which words like to hang out together. It's knowing you make a decision. You don't do a decision. It's the secret to sounding truly natural. And finally, be strategic. Focus on the most common words first and always, always link new words to things you already know. This isn't just a list of tips, it's a systematic plan for success. Okay, fantastic. Let's move on to our second play. Once you have the building blocks, that strategic vocabulary, it's time to actually build something important with them. And the first, most critical things you're going to build are the documents that tell your professional story, your resume, and your cover letter. And let's be clear, these are not just boring lists of your past jobs. They are persuasive arguments designed to do one thing: get you that interview. This table gives us a really clear blueprint drawn from a great Coursera course on career development. Let's break it down. For your resume, look at the top. Headline and summary. That is your hook.
It's the first thing they read, and it has to grab them. Then, and this is so important, when you describe your work experience, you have to use powerful action verbs. You didn't just help with a project. You spearheaded, you executed, you streamlined, you delivered. See the difference? Now, the cover letter has a different job. It's the bridge between your resume and their company. Your introduction has to catch their eye, the middle part connects the dots by highlighting the exact skills they're looking for, and the closing is confident and polite. It's a story that says, you have a problem and I am the perfect solution.
And here's the proof that this works. This isn't just some theory. This is a quote from a real person who took that course. And it shows you what the real goal is. The goal isn't just to have a pretty document. It's the feeling of confidence that comes from it. Feeling more prepared is a massive, massive advantage. It means you're not nervous, you're ready. You can walk into that whole process excited to show them what you can do, no matter where in the world that opportunity might be. All right, moving on to play number 3. We've got our foundational documents ready. Now let's zoom in on a skill you are going to use every single day. Email. This is where that digital handshake we talked about happens over and over again. So we're going to break down 5 of the most common mistakes people make, and I'm going to show you exactly how to fix them so your emails are always polished, professional, and actually get things done. Okay, mistake number 1, the trap of being too direct. Look, in many cultures, the example on the left, I need the report by 5 p.m., is totally normal. It's clear, it's to the point. But in many English-speaking business contexts, it can sound a little harsh, maybe even demanding. The much better version on the right uses what experts call softening language. Phrases like, would it be possible for you to, immediately make it sound more like a polite request. And adding that little reason, I'd like to review it, turns it from a command into a collaboration. You're asking for the exact same thing, but the delivery makes all the difference in building good relationships with your colleagues.
This one is such a classic challenge for learners. It's the literal translation trap. Let's be really clear. The sentence, I will make my best effort for this project, is grammatically perfect. There's nothing technically wrong with it at all. But to a native speaker, it just sounds a little stiff, maybe even robotic. The version on the right, I'm fully committed to making this project a success, means the exact same thing, but it has a much more natural, confident, and fluent feel to it. It's these subtle shifts that take you from just being correct to being a truly powerful communicator.
You know, figuring out the right level of formality can feel like a constant balancing act. The casual message on the left, sure, it might be fine in a quick team chat on Slack or something, but for an actual email, especially if you're writing to your boss or people from other departments, it's just too casual. Using abbreviations like FYI and thanks can make you seem a bit unprofessional. The version on the right is still warm and friendly, but it's polished. It uses a proper greeting, full sentences, and spells out thank you. The big takeaway here is always think about your audience and the situation before you hit send. I want you to just think about your own email inbox right now. How many unread messages are in there? 100? More? The subject line of your email is its headline. It's the movie trailer, and it is fighting for attention in a very crowded space. A vague subject like question or update is so easy for someone to skip over and say, I'll get to that later. But a clear, specific, actionable subject line like question regarding Q3 marketing budget tells the person exactly what this is about and why it matters to them right now. It shows you respect their time, and it massively increases the odds that your email actually gets opened and answered quickly. Oh, this is such a big one. You can write the most beautiful, perfect email, but if you end it with something vague like, let me know your thoughts, you're making the other person do all the work. They have to guess what you actually want. Do you want general feedback? Do you need them to make a decision? Do you need their signature? The example on the right is crystal clear. It tells them the action, review and provide approval, and it gives them the deadline by EOD Friday. This isn't being bossy, it's being helpful. You are making it easy for them to give you exactly what you need, which helps everyone get their work done faster. And that brings us to our final and arguably most crucial play in the playbook, the interview. This is it. This is the championship game. It's the ultimate test where all of your skills, your strategic vocabulary, your career story, your professionalism, all have to come together in a live, high-pressure conversation. This is your chance to make that resume and cover letter come to life and prove without a doubt that you are the absolute best person for this job. And it almost always starts with this one seemingly simple question. So, tell me about yourself. It sounds so easy, doesn't it? But my gosh, it can be the single hardest question to answer if you haven't prepared. How in the world are you supposed to sum up your entire career and personality in just a few sentences? Where do you even start? This single moment can set the tone for the entire rest of the interview. No pressure. So what's the secret?
The answer, as outlined in the Coursera curriculum, is to have a prepared elevator speech. Now, this is not a long script that you memorize like a robot. Think of it more as a powerful 30 to 60-second commercial for you. It has a clear structure. First, a quick intro of who you are professionally. Next, a summary of what you do and what you're great at, making sure to highlight the skills that are most relevant to this job. And you finish with a forward-looking statement about your goals and why you're so excited about this specific opportunity. The key is to have this framework ready so you can deliver a smooth, confident, and powerful answer every single time they ask. Now, beyond that first big question, here are some more fantastic practical tips. First, and this is so important, it is 100% okay to ask for clarification if you don't understand something. Saying, "That's a great question. Could you tell me a bit more about what you mean by X?" doesn't make you look weak, it makes you look engaged. Second, just like on your resume, use those strong action verbs when you talk. You didn't just work on a team, you collaborated to achieve a specific goal. Third, do not be afraid of a little silence. It is so much better to take a breath and think for a second than to rush into a messy answer. It makes you look thoughtful. And finally, you absolutely must prepare questions to ask them. An interview is a two-way street. Asking smart questions shows you're serious about the role and you've done your homework. So there you have it. We've just walked through the 4 major plays of our professional playbook. We started with building our vocabulary strategically, then we crafted our career story, mastered our daily emails, and finally prepared to nail the interview. Now let's just take a step back and put it all together to see the complete system we've just built. Here it is all in one place. Your 4 keys to unlocking your professional potential using English. See how it flows? It all starts with that smart, strategic foundation for learning the words you need. Then you use those words to build a powerful career story in your resume and cover letter. After that, you put all those skills into practice every single day by writing clear professional emails. And finally, you bring everything together to ace the interview and get that offer. Each step builds perfectly on the one before it, creating a complete and powerful system for your success. And at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. This was never just about learning a bunch of English grammar rules. It's about gaining control. It's about having the right tools and, just as importantly, the confidence to shape how the professional world sees you. With this playbook, you can stop feeling worried about every little mistake and start feeling empowered to tell your story, to share your great ideas, and to truly take control of where your career is going. So the playbook is officially in your hands now. The big question is, what are you going to do with it? You don't have to do everything all at once. Not at all. Maybe your first move is just to spend this week looking at your sent emails and see where you could have used some softening language. Or maybe it's finally sitting down for 15 minutes to sketch out that elevator speech. Whatever it is, the most important part is to just start. So I'll leave you with this. What's your first move going to be?
You are doing great. Don't stop. Subscribe and watch the next video.